Hey UK Bills Mafia, this is Christian Wade of your Buffalo Bills. This is the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast with your hosts, Matt and Alex. Let's go Buffalo! Woo!
And welcome to the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast, Bills news with a UK twist. Matt and Alex here as always, and today we're joined by Neil Blair from Arrowheads Abroad. That's the UK Chiefs, if you're wondering. And Alex, what are your views? We've got, I can say, two words, Mahomes and Allen.
Well, yeah, there's the fun throw off thing. Hopefully they don't do that, honestly, because I don't need somebody throwing their arm out. All right, let's just make sure that we can have this matchup in Week 6 be legitimate. Yeah, so Super Bowl champion, right? Gonna
I
be a
think
big
so.
test. The Bills probably gonna bring their A game. Probably gonna try just a little bit harder than any other game this season to show the Super Bowl champion, show the whole NFL that we could dethrone the champions. What do you think?
I say Mahomes Allen, it's going to be interesting, well coached, well disciplined, well disciplined, but both teams have their strengths, both teams have their weakness. It's going to be I think it could be a really high scoring game, depending on how the
It's going to be a
defenses
weird
go on.
Thursday night game. Those games are always weird. So,
Exactly. And we talked to Neil not just about whatever happened last season, 8-8, 1-15.
yeah, no, they weren't
Oh,
that good, I think.
Oh, well, no, yeah, they won the Super Bowl. We've heard that so many times, but hey ho. No, but no, we talked to him about last season, talked to him about what to expect from this season, and talk about the Week 6 matchup, which will be Thursday night football. So, watching this on the our YouTube channel, sit back and enjoy. If you've got it plugged on the podcast stream, turn up that volume and enjoy as we talk with Neil from Arrowheads Abroad. And we're joined on the Red, White and Buffalo Blues by Arrowheads Abroad. That's the UK Chiefs, Neil Blair. Neil, thank you very much
Hi,
for coming on the show.
that's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on.
So,
absolutely. So, as you can tell, I'm not English at all. I'm from Buffalo, and
Okay.
we have a kind of a reoccurring question when we do this series. As I'm interested, how did you become a Chiefs fan?
Back in '93, Chiefs signed Joe Montana,
Yep.
and I was at university living with a guy who was a big Washington Redskins fan. So we used to watch the Channel 4 highlights on a Sunday morning, and Montana was pretty much the only person I knew. So I was like, well, I'm a Man United fan. They wear red. Montana, I've heard of him. I'll pick the Chiefs. So
That
it
works.
was
Yeah.
no more scientific than that.
yeah, no, it's like me. I'd say it's been 99 for me. Obviously, after the game that no Bills fan will actually we'll talk about. But since then, obviously enjoyed, and we've gone from strength to strength with it. Um, the burning question we've got to get,
Big
gonna,
question. Most
yeah, gonna
important question.
bring it up from the volcano into the lava. Throw off Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes.
I was waiting
Can
for
you
this.
see? Can you
Yeah, right.
see Mahomes winning it, knowing that in Madden, Josh Allen's got 99% throw power?
Um,
I lay down the question.
Because Madden is gospel. So
yeah, because
yeah,
everybody fully respects the Madden ratings and
yeah, right.
nobody has a problem with them whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see Mahomes throwing 70, 80 yards without a great deal of bother. I think the thing with Mahomes and his throwing power is he doesn't need to set his feet to do it.
Hmm.
Like he
Mhm.
can just flick of the wrist, he can do 60 yards through the air. If you give him time to set his feet, 70 or 80, yeah, not a problem.
Can he? But can he nearly throw it out the stadium though, like Josh Allen
No,
did?
not only can he nearly do it, he has done it, and you can find video of it on Twitter. So yes, he can throw it out of the stadium.
That
Okay, the challenge has been set then.
The thing that's most important, though, is what will happen in actual football. So we don't really have much to talk about. I don't know what happened with you guys last season.
Not much. Quiet season.
Not much at all, yeah. But honestly, how high are expectations? I mean, you know how difficult it is to repeat. I mean, are you expecting getting there again?
Yes, it's a quick answer. Anything less than getting back to the Super Bowl, you would have to think would be a disappointment. Winning it again, I'd struggle to say we'll have a better opportunity to repeat than this because we've returned, I think we're at 18 of the 22 starters from the Super Bowl. We've lost 2 to COVID in the past week. And we lost 2 in free agency. So we've got the vast majority of the team back. They know what it takes to win it. They've already done it, and they want to do it again. And they want a lot of the talk out of Kansas City is they want to be a dynasty. They want to do what the Patriots did for years and just not be hated like everyone hates the Patriots, and just do it nicely, but still win it consistently.
I think there was going to be a quick side question on that one. Is do you see the Chiefs potentially going on that dynasty run like the Patriots? Is it going to happen instantaneously, or is it be a case that it gradually gets to the point where they are like New England? They're going to be up there winning 6 Super Bowls and being one of the teams to beat.
As long as Mahomes is healthy, we'll be in with a shout every season. But he's not lost a game by more than 7 points. He's come back multiple times from double-digit deficits in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. He's a different level to 99% of the other quarterbacks out there. If he's healthy, we're in with a chance of winning every game because if you watch the Super Bowl, we can put up points in a hurry. Even when we're not playing well, it just takes one play to kick them into gear, and they can put 21 points on you in a heartbeat.
So you've got to thank.
Go ahead, Matt.
So you got to thank Buffalo for trading with you. If not, we won't be having this conversation with me.
You didn't miss out there at all, lads. Don't worry.
Yeah. Whoops. No, I mean, obviously the Patriots are the gold standard in terms of trying to build a dynasty. That's, what everybody achieves to be. But, I mean, when you say Mahomes is the only one, I mean, you look at New Orleans, though. Drew Brees is a top 5 quarterback, and he's had Sean Payton the whole time. But there were years where they even missed the playoffs. I mean, is the rest of the roster built for longevity?
Yes, I mean, a lot of the better players are still relatively young and under contract for at least a couple more seasons. So kind of the core nucleus is there. Now, we're going to have to draft well, and we're going to have to do free agency well, because when Mahomes' contract kicks in with the real money coming in a few years' time, if the salary cap doesn't increase as it has done in the past, then it's going to put pressure on, no doubt, as to fill in the rest of that roster.
So it's almost,
but certainly for the next few years,
So it's almost like you've got that window with what you've got at the moment until Mahomes' contract comes up to get that dynasty, to get those 2 or 3 rings, and then once the contract kicks in, you're there thinking, right, how can we
really got to work hard,
get the money? How can we improve on that? So it's almost like you got that small window.
Now, Brett Veach, as general manager, has done a really good job of doing that so far. I mean, there was a point during the off season where we had $177 in cap space, and that was it. Now, since then, he re-signed Sammy Watkins, he re-signed Breland, the number one cornerback we have. He got a new deal for Mahomes. He got a new deal for Chris Jones.
Mm.
So he spread those $177 very, very well.
Yeah.
And he's going to need to do that again consistently over the coming years.
Yeah.
Somebody has an economics degree.
Yeah.
So obviously people are aware of what you actually got on offense with Tyreek Hill, Sam Watkins, and obviously Patrick Mahomes.
Kelsey.
What's new heading into 2020? So new signings, draftees from the season. Is there any position on the depth chart you're now worried about?
Taking the new players first, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, number one draft pick, taken running back, 32nd pick in the first round. He is going to be lethal in this offense. Good pass catcher out of the backfield, makes the first defender miss 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
When you've got Hill and Watkins and Kelsey running routes and somebody has to cover him, you're not going to be able to have 2 guys covering him as well.
Exactly.
You know, dump offs are going to be an easy 5 to 10 yards most of the time. I would say we've loaded on offense around Mahomes, and it looks like the aim is to score 40 points a game. And if you can keep up with that, congratulations, you deserve to beat us.
Yeah, true.
I would say the one position I do have concern about is cornerback. We are a bit thin there. Breland is our best cornerback, and he's suspended for the first 4 games of the season. So we'll miss him because they're probably the hardest 4 of the season as well. It's certainly not an easy opening to the season.
Yeah.
So we'll miss him there, and we don't have a great deal of depth beyond that. But we have a good pass rush, so you then get into the debate of which do you need more, good cornerbacks or a good pass rush.
Yeah.
It's open to interpretation there.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 things that are really important there. So you mentioned it's tough early in the season for the first 4 weeks. We have the Bills matchup week 6.
Yeah.
Your only away loss last year was to the Titans, and then they played you crazy in that playoff game. I consider the Titans and Bills to be 2 teams that are very similar. Bills maybe a little bit more talent on offense. So what are your thoughts on this matchup specifically?
Honestly, I don't like it.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. I think you're the first one that said that.
The other thing is it's a Thursday night game, isn't it? And we're away. Yeah. So we're on a short week. And who did we play the week before? I'd have to look it up. But we have a tough enough game in week 5 to then come on to the short week to the Bills. From what I've seen of you guys, punishing defense, reasonable offense. If you can play ball control and keep the ball away from us, you'll certainly stay in the game. But it's the short week and the Thursday that I don't like at all there, and traveling as well. That's a tough combination against anybody, and against a team with a good defense. That's harsh.
Yeah, I think that's going to obviously be downgraded. Plus, I have to admit, you're probably the only fan so far that, as you said, they're slightly worried, even if it is for the day that they actually match up Thursday Night Football. I think you're probably the first person that we've interviewed so far that's actually said, yeah, we're kind of worried about this. So that makes us happy.
The Steelers guy was a little bit worried about us, wasn't he? And we did the Broncos last, and they should have been a little bit more worried, but that kid was really confident. I don't know where he got it from, but he was.
They've got Drew Lock. They're going to win everything now.
That's going to be a fun battle for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the other teams in the AFC West, they all loaded up on offense. And they all look like they're going to try and have a shootout with us.
Yeah.
Which is probably the best way to go about things, I would have thought.
Be exciting
but
football.
It's going to be a question of quarterbacks, and the Chargers have just drafted Justin Herbert. Is he going to be good? I don't know.
Yeah.
The Broncos have Drew Lock. We beat them like 28-0 at home last season when they had Drew Lock playing. Is he going to be good? Maybe, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that particularly worries me so far. And the
Mm.
Raiders have got Derek Carr, and we own Derek Carr. He's like Andy Reid's love child now. So I honestly have no fear of Derek Carr whatsoever. So
You never know. They might put Peterman in. Solved.
they
Easy.
could, yeah, they could, yeah.
He'll take down the Chiefs.
And they've got
I did not
Marcus
expect to
Mariota
talk
as a
about
backup.
Nick Peterman on this show. Jesus.
No, it's good. I mean, looking at the game, looking at the Bills, how they're set up, offense and defense. Is there really any position that you think, in your view, that the Bills would be vulnerable in, that you could take advantage, whether it be our wide receiver core or our offensive line or anything like that? Anything that really could give the Chiefs a bit of what's the best word for it? A bit of momentum, put it that way.
I think that the thing with the Chiefs is it's on Mahomes' arm, and if you can stop Mahomes' arm, fantastic, well done. But then you have to stop his legs as well, because in the second half of the season, he did a really effective job of scrambling. Even when teams spied him, he'd just run past the guy. Like there was in the AFC Championship game against the Titans, they ended up with two guys spying him in the second half, and they still couldn't contain him.
Yeah.
So if you can slow Mahomes down enough, then you stand a chance. But that's a lot easier said than done. Like the Chiefs' offense is built to put up points fast.
Mm.
So you're either going to have to stop us doing that or keep up with us.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you turn into, you're saying you're similar to the Titans, kind of run-based, play-action kind of stuff, good defense. But you're going to end up in a shootout with us if you can't stop Mahomes putting up points fast. And I don't think that's somewhere you really want to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Bills fans do need to look further than the playoff game we had against the Texans, where Deshaun Watson on the big play was able to get away. There's a lot of Mahomes in that. I mean, the Texans' offense last year, on paper, similar to Kansas City, but Kansas City way better coached. So, if we had trouble with the Texans, there's going to be some trouble here. And again, this is a big, coaching matchup as well. I mean, McDermott last year really showed people what's up. And now this year he's facing a lot of heavy hitters. I mean, Andy Reid is, finally getting that W. You're saying he's not going to take his foot off the pedal. I'm a little bit worried about that.
And also McDermott's come from the Andy Reid coaching tree. So you've got that little storyline there as well. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup coach-wise. I mean, if I could nail it on the head, last final question, if I can nail it on the head with you and say week 6, what would you say it's going to be? Is it going to be touchdown in it? Chiefs going to run away with it? Going to be an upset? Bill's going to take it?
I think we'll win, but not by much. As I said, I don't like the short week, and I don't like playing away on a Thursday. But at the same time, I would always trust in Mahomes and Reid as a combination. They'll have something sorted to create points.
Yeah.
And the big caveat is going to be COVID and who's healthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
You could easily lose your entire wide receiver room in the space of a couple of days, and then what do you do? So, that's going to be the big kind of deciding factor. But if everyone's healthy, I'd say the Chiefs should win.
Yeah.
And it would be relatively close. Like it would be a good game, but we ought to win.
Yeah.
No, I'll take a coin flip game against the Super Bowl champions. So
yeah, I think it'll be a good show of both teams, well coached, decent matchups in there. So I say it's going to be a really good game. That's for sure.
I think we're the one of the issues we're going to face this year is that we're going to take everybody's best shot because everyone wants to beat the champions.
Sure.
And you can be sure that people are going to be fired up and having their A game. You know, there's no more motivation you need as a team to say we're playing against the best and we want to see how we measure up against the best. So week in, week out, we're going to take teams' best shots. And that's probably going to be one of the most interesting things for the season is how do we measure up against the team's best shots that they can give us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show, Neil. Obviously, you got anything that you want to anything you want to plug where people can find you or tune in even to your podcast if they want a little bit of information on the Chiefs?
Yeah, so we're Arrowheads Abroad, KC Chiefs UK, I think we are on Twitter. We do have a podcast. We do have a website. If you go on our website, you can find a link to the podcasts. We've had a couple of special guests on this year. So we had the Chiefs sideline reporter was on, and then we had Terez Paylor from Yahoo Sports came on as a guest.
Nice.
So we've been very happy with the podcast so far in the off season. I'm sure you guys can appreciate it's been a long off season. It's been tough
definitely
getting material
has.
together each time, but a couple of guests has really helped. So yeah, Arrowheads Abroad is the website. You can find us there.
That's awesome. So it's always left for us to say is good luck for the season, bar week 6.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Thank you very much for joining us, Neil.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go make some noise now. Let's go. Make a run. No more. Bills on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bills!
Okay, Bills fans, Matt here. Just thanking you for watching and subscribing to our YouTube channel and our podcast. What I ask for you to do, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, follow these links here, and also continue to subscribe, review, support us on our podcast, which you can find on all platforms, and also continue to subscribe to the UK Bills YouTube. Let's grow this UK fan base, spread the word, and I will say this: go Bills, go Bills. The Bills make me want to shout.